Hi everyone, welcome to Longshore's Lifelines. Today is episode 3. This is Hector, Gian, and I'm Steven. And today we're going to cover 3 topics: weather, climate, and tides. We have about 6 questions here that our customers seem to ask us a lot. Very important questions. Yep. So we're going to do our best to answer them and hope this helps you out. So Hector, I'll give you the first one. When is the best time to go boating in Charleston?
You know, Steve, this is more about personal question. It's about preference, what you want to do, what you like to do. From March to May, I think Charleston has one of the most beautiful days around the low country. So springtime, beautiful sunsets. Then you have summertime. You can do whatever you want: fishing, going to the beach, going to sandbars, take your family to restaurants. Then my favorite time of the year to go boating is from October to December. You know, it's pretty quiet, weather is really nice, temperatures on the water are really good for go out and fishing too. So to answer that question is pretty hard because it's about what you want to do or what you like to do. For me, Charleston is beautiful all year around. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I mean, my favorite time is definitely October through December. It's a great time. It's quiet out there. The weather is just beautiful. You know, one thing you do got to worry about is the days are shorter, you know, with the time change and stuff. So, I mean, that kind of brings us into question 2 for Gian. Another question we get is, how do you boat at nighttime?
Well, thanks, Steve. Boating at nighttime is a very, very nice activity. But you have to take it very serious. We developed 4 basic tips and recommendations that you should follow and take action to make it, make it back to the dock in a safe way. First thing will be gear up, be prepared. Even if you didn't plan to be out there, just every boat should have, besides your mandatory Coast Guard kit, you should have an emergency flashlight on board, or any night equipment you want to acquire, if you will. Number 2 will be slow down, slow the pace. Many state jurisdictions have low speed limits at night, and it's a natural precaution, because on the more familiar landmarks, they disappear or even change at night. That will make it very easy to run off course and maybe run aground. Number 3 will be nav lights. Make sure your navigation lights are on and operating properly. That's the law. And remember, you're not the only one out there. Other boats could be at the same waterways as you, and they will want to know what direction you're heading and where you're going and how fast you're going. And last but not least, number 4 will be turn down your ambient lights. That's a very, very important tip.
I mean, it's tough to see.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, absolutely, it's tough to see, and from your GPS, courtesy lights, spreader lights, and docking lights, your eyes automatically adjust to the amount of light they have. So it'll be very, very difficult to see beyond the bow. So if you have a pair of built-in docking lights in your boat, don't use them. They're not made for that. They're made for to locate or spot specific objects in the water.
Correct.
Those are the most basic tips you should follow when boating at night. They will make it, they will help you make it back to the dock or landing in a safe way, or maybe just enjoy a wonderful evening cruise.
So slow down, right?
Yeah,
Slow down.
Yeah, and that will take us to the next question. That's going to be, what do I do with my boat in case of a hurricane? Can you help us with that, Hector?
Sure. In an event of hurricane, you need an evacuation plan. You need to know what's going to happen with your boat. If you plan to hold the boat out of the water or keep the boat in the water, check with your local marinas, check with your local dealers if they have some kind of hurricane plans. So be prepared to remove everything what can fly away from your boat.
Sure.
Tie everything what it cannot be removed from your boat. Make an inventory what it is on your boat. Make sure you have all the documentations and the insurance updated. So you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. Use your common sense. When I say check with your local marinas or your local dealers, because in our case, in Longshore boats, we have what we call hurricane program,
Correct.
where we help our customers to get the boats out of the water safely and remove to a safe location. Now, that guide me to the next question, what it will be, how the tides affect the boats. Stephen?
So tides around here are huge. I mean, you can have 5 foot, 6 foot tides. You know, the water can get very shallow at a low tide, but you know, the big thing here we see at the marina, since we're down there so often, when the tide's moving, it's difficult to dock your boat. Going into it will help you out, but if you're going with that tide or with that current, you know, a lot of people don't know how to navigate a boat, but it'll move you, it'll push you. So you gotta, the tide has a big effect there, and when it's low tide here in Charleston, it's low tide. There's a lot of shallow water everywhere, so you definitely got to be careful, slow down, especially if you're going to navigate back into the creeks. You know, big thing that I see around here a lot, and I'm sure you guys do when you go to the beaches, you know, prices, dewies, capers. You know, boats pull right up bow first onto the sand. They're hanging out there enjoying the day. All of a sudden, the tide going out, and their boat's just sitting on the land. So you got to pay attention to that. And then, if you're going to navigate back in the back creeks, maybe do it when the tide's starting to come back up. So it kind of gives you the reassurance that you'll get back out safely. But yeah, tides are a big effect over here in Charleston. So
you have to remember that some people don't know about this, but it's a easy tip. The tides change every 6 hours.
right.
So if in the event you get caught in a low tide on the ground, you have to wait 6 hours till the tide comes back.
I hope we brought a lot of food and water.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So the next question is for my friend Jan. What should I do when operating a boat in the bad weather?
Well, that's a good question. You know, before answering the question, you should make the habit of checking out your local broadcast the night before boating. And you know, boating in a bad weather it could turn out very stressful or maddening. You know, that's why the best thing to do is head to the nearest marina or sheltered waters. If you can't make it back to shore, then let's say you got caught in a thunderstorm, the first thing you got to do is make sure everybody on board is wearing an approved life jacket. Make sure everyone is stay low and centered in the boat to keep the boat balanced in rough seas. Keep everyone away from any metal or ungrounded hardware on the boat, you know, and secure hatches. Any unnecessary gear, secure it below deck in any compartment available. You know, the big gear or big equipment, strap it down, secure it. Close every port, hatches, windows to keep water out of the boat. Make sure your bilge pump is running at all times. That's for sure. And one of the other type of climates or weather you may encounter out in the water is fog. You know, you got out there and then turns out it got very, very foggy. You don't have visibility. The best thing to do is slow down. You know, slow the pace. The second thing to do is just turn your navigation lights on. Remember, you don't have visibility. You need to slow down. You have to. It's better because you'll keep your engines quiet. You're able to hear any vessel, boat approaching towards you. Grab a person or post a lookout. So, you know, tell them to be aware of any debris, objects, or obstacles in the water, any boat. Have a horn, you know, make sure your horn is operating, or even if you don't have a horn, if it's not working, have a whistle. You know, those are the best tips or recommendations to make it back safe on a bad weather day. So that takes us to the next question, and I think it's the last question. That's what recommended apps will you use to calculate weather, climate, and tides, Steve?
So I mean, with today's cell phones, I mean, there's a ton of apps out there. I mean, you can download these things. Well, what you want to do is make sure you download any of these apps before you head out on the water. But the one that I use personally is called SailFlow. It basically gives you the tides. It gives you the wave duration, the weather. So it's a great thing to have on the water or check before you go out, you know, so you kind of plan your day. The next one that I use personally is called My Radar. It's a great map. and it shows you where the weather's coming in on the map, so you can kind of avoid it or know you're going to get rain here in the next hour or two. And the last one is going to be called Fish Weather. It's another cool app out there that gives you a little more fishing detail. You know, still does the tides and still does the weather part of it, but I mean, there's a ton of apps out there, so you shouldn't have any issue finding one. But those are my three favorite ones out there.
Yeah, like you say, it's a lot up there. Just choose the one you feel comfortable to use it. Download it on your phone the night before
Correct.
you're going out. Definitely don't play with the app when you're already out there in the water. And my friends, I hope all these tips you found pretty helpful. If you want more information about all these, or check our inventory on longshoreboats.com, or give us a call at 843-216-4700. Thanks, and see you next time.